Well, good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
We're Wendy, Mary, and Audrey. We're the Mystic Chics, and we're welcoming you to our first edition of Mystic Chic Chat.
Welcome.
Yeah, a lot going on in the world right now. What would you say? Yeah.
The energies. We're all about energy healing, and there's a lot of energy. So we thought we would start talking to you about the energy of transmutation. How can you feel better in this world? How can you make changes? What can you do?
Yes, and it's super important because I think in times like these, many times you feel powerless. We at times have felt powerless in a given situation or a world situation, and so that's really not the truth of the matter. The truth is, we are sovereign beings. It's part of our human existence, and you have a lot more power than maybe you realize in the moment.
Exactly. And I think that's where we are. We're at that shift of discovering that, and that in itself can bring about fear. But if we move beyond that fear, wow, what power we have.
Fear is not part of our sovereignty or who we are, or even, I dare say, what's natural and real. It's not. It's something that's put out upon you and something that your ego created. So we do soul-centered work, so we'll help bring you back into the soul. And how do we do that? So let's talk about how to transmute fear.
Yeah, and I just want to add, you guys, it's so important to do that because, fear had a place in our evolution. When the saber-toothed tiger was coming, we were like, oh my God. So fear helped us, to run and get away. But the way it happens in our modern society is very constricting, and that's how fear is constricting, and we want to get to the opposite of that. We don't want to constrict our blood vessels. We don't want to constrict any part of our being. We want to feel at ease. And so, really, really important to shift that so that we can become more expansive.
I love that, because constraint really constrains everything, pulls everything back, creativity. And where do new ideas, where are the new ideas that are going to speak to our platform of education, politics, science, medicine, all of it? Where are those new ideas? They're within each and every one of us. And when we can tap into our own little spark, our creativity. And I think that's why I love so much about the work we do.
Yes.
Because each one of us has our own independent, creative technique that we do between, Wendy, all your years of teaching and education. You a certified yoga instructor, an energy practitioner, myself as a musician and sound healer, and Odd, speaking to what you do with energy work, and you want to speak a little bit to what you do, because all of us bring separate things, and yet together we create.
We do, and I remember when I first opened my practice over 10 years ago, the first thing, I was overwhelmed with healing. How can I best help people heal, and what will the energies running through me do to best help someone heal? And the first thing that came through was clearing fear. And I remember saying that if all I did for the rest of my life was work on clearing fear from people, from their bodies, their emotional body, their mental body, their spiritual body, their physical body, when you clear that out, then love comes in, and then sovereignty comes in, and it's like an activation, and it ignites who you are. It's like we can see who you are underneath all the fear, and so we're here to help you clear that fear. And part of how I would instruct people to do that, and how we do that as a group too, is learning to get in your body, just becoming self-aware of what you're feeling, because your body's constantly communicating with you. Our bodies are amazing. We are sensory machines. We're not. Sometimes the brain and logic just steers us in one direction, when we're always like, get down into your heart, see through your heart, and understand that you're a sensory machine. And we're that way because innate is always speaking to us, right? Innate is always guiding us to follow our intuition. Even before this shoot, I actually have a sweater that's Mary's color, and I was like, I love that purple sweater, I want to wear it. And then this voice came in that said, no, wear your navy sweater. And then when we got together, I was like, I almost wore that color. And then Wendy and I decided
Perfect.
to both wear navy, so we were bookends married. But
Bookends.
every decision that I ever make, I'm constantly guided to what I do, and I personally just love to live a spiritually abundant life, you know, and that's what we say when we get together. We live our truth. We live these practices. We meditate every day. We meditate before we get together to create music. We clear our spaces. We use Palo Santo. We drink lots of water. You know, we live these practices to be really happy. And you know, we've said that how much richer our lives are in doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get back to transmuting the energy and shifting, this is like a lot of information, and we have a lot more coming your way, right? We just we
saying.
could talk
Never
forever.
ending. Never ending.
Just saying.
For growth and just, you know, for overall well-being. But coming back to that idea of what can I do, you know, so I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, maybe I'm hearing reports or I'm hearing information that gets me in that state of constricting, so how do I release that? So we're gonna come back and show you some movement exercises that you can do to really release that and bring in what you want to feel, what you want to feel more of. And I think the first thing that Audrey and Mary were alluding to is to really become aware. You know, when Audrey says, you know, we teach, which we all do in our separate practices, to teach how to get into your heart center, right? So, and it's really kind of, do we want to do that? You want to just do that right here, or just
I was
like,
thinking
take
about
that
a
breath?
cleansing breath.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do the 5-5 breath. That's my go-to
Okay.
at night when I'm awake and I have a hard time sleeping. I do the 5-5
Yeah.
breath.
And you
Beautiful.
might, you know, there are so much guidance out there, and I think we would all say to find something that works for you. Don't
Try
beat
it
yourself
all.
up about trying things and I don't know if I had that, whatever. Try something else and something else. It took you however many years, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 on up years to get to where you are now. So if at first it's not working, that doesn't mean it's never going to work for you. Just try something, and once you find something, you'll know. You'll feel it. It'll click in, and you'll know.
And I think before we do the breath, I just want to say that with the three of us, you know, Wendy, you mentioned in our separate practices, we all have these various focuses that we've done between movement and sound and music and energy healing. And that's what I love about the three of us coming together with you. You said, try something different, because when the three of us are coming together, we'd like to offer you as many different things you can do to move your body, to get more in touch with sound and the vibration of sound, from everything from a Spotify playlist. You know, it doesn't need to be a monk on a mountainside, you know, playing a Tibetan bowl. This is not the world we live in.
No,
you know, it's a guitar, it's a piano, it's bowls, and it's whatever vibrates with you, because we're all vibratory beings. You know, and energy healing. What does that look like? You know, we're going to begin to do more and more of that in video format, so we can help you see what that is, because that is not just for me, that's not just for Wendy, that's not just for Audrey, that is for each and every human being on this planet, and particularly at this time. So, yeah, with that, let's do a breath work. Let's do a little something.
Okay.
So I like to do, what helps me is a cleansing breath of inhaling for the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever your pace is, without waiting at the top, and then exhaling for the same count of 5. And I do that for a minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It usually helps me fall asleep. So we're not asleep right now, and it's a beautiful morning, crisp, sunny, wonderful. So let's just try a few breaths of that, because obviously if we do 6 breaths of that, it's a minute. So before you know it, you've already opened up your blood vessels, and just you're allowing energy to move freely through your breath.
And you saw us all shift. It's so funny. We did that automatically, all
Yeah.
3 of us. What we were doing is making sure that our feet are flat on the floor. The body circuitry has a pattern to it, and so uncross and just have your feet flat on the floor. Try to get that spine straight, so to allow the flow. That's all we did.
And we're going to just do our own and leave you with that video to go as long as you'd like. Okay.
Perfect.
So we'll see you again soon.